We are learning more about a key witness in the criminal trial of accused drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman.
Yesterday, the former head of the North Valley cartel, Juan Carlos Ramirez, took to the witness stand for his third day of testimony. Defense attorneys have focused on his history of moving drugs and ordering murders. Ramirez's appearance has gotten as much attention as his testimony so far. He underwent multiple plastic surgeries to avoid arrest while on the run. CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman joins me now. So what was your takeaway from what we saw?
Well, I think that yesterday you really got to see the defense cross-examination. And these are great lawyers. They know how to do this. And, of course, they have a wealth of riches, no pun intended. When you have a witness, this is the third cooperating witness, who is a reprehensible character, a violent character, not only a drug smuggler, but a murderer. In this case, when you're dealing with Ramirez, he either committed or ordered the murders of 150 people. In addition to that, he wound up smuggling 440 tons of cocaine into the United States of America. So a cross-examination is done for this purpose. Why should we believe you? You are a liar. He admits he has lied for years and years of his life. So if you lied then, why should we think you're telling the truth now? You would do anything to help yourself. Understanding that, the defense is also faced with the fact that this witness had a plea where he got 30 years. Well, it might go down to 25. Does that really make much of a difference for him? But since we're talking about substantial assistance today, you can also find that the more assistance you give, you might even get a reduction after that. But do you want to believe these witnesses and convict El Chapo on the basis of their testimony? Doesn't there have to be something more?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this the witness that we weren't supposed to show his face because he had all this plastic surgery? Now we're seeing his face everywhere. What's going on?
Did you say Rikki actually showed you a shot of his?
Well, before, just privately, not on TV.
We have two different witnesses here that we're dealing with.
Because this plastic surgery looks pretty bad, too.
Well, this witness, that is Lollipop, as we call him, Ramirez, Mr. Ramirez, who does look freakish, I think, is a fair word to say. I mean, he looks, as it's been described, like a lizard. His pictures have been all over the news. The cooperating witness before him was the witness that even the sketch artists were not allowed to draw because he is still in so much danger. Why? Because he's in the witness protection program. He's out. Here, when you get to Ramirez, he's in.
Oh, wow.
So that's the distinction. Nonetheless, you have 3 for 3. They're all just terrible people. Right. And one of the things you look at when you're dealing with El Chapo is El Chapo may or may not have been, depending on the evidence that develops, one of the worst people also. However, is he worse? You know, is this really, I think the defense is saying, is this really a show trial? Is that what we're really doing here? Like, all these other people get a break because why? The defense would say, we want to blame everything on El Chapo and say, OK, we've solved it all. And in the process of that, the defense says, what we're not exposing is the corruption not only of the Mexican officials, but according to the defense, we don't know that this would ever be proven, but also corruption on the part of American officials.
What is your experience? I mean, as we see that the defense is trying to portray Ramirez and other witnesses as not credible because of the lives that they have led, what has generally your experience been with how juries see people who've spent a lifetime of lying, who now purport to be telling the truth? We're seeing that here. We're seeing it. Some people are saying Michael Cohen, for example, to tie this back to the Russia investigation. Michael Cohen is a known liar, and now we're expected to believe him here. What's your experience of how juries see it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how much other evidence you have. Can you back it up with corroborative evidence that is not simply another corroborator who has a reason to lie? Look, there have been organized crime prosecutions and drug dealing prosecutions that have gone on in this country for decades. And there have been plenty of convictions based on the lying testimony that then has truth to it of very, very bad people. But there has to be some corroboration. One of your other experts, a dear friend of mine, Paul Batista, he and I converse about this case. And one of the things we both agree upon is, where are we now? We're all the way back. This witness, for example, has done business with El Chapo, according to his testimony, for 20 years. Well, Is the Sinaloa drug cartel still continuing while El Chapo is in prison? You bet your bottom dollar it is still continuing. So what the defense is trying to say is, not only shouldn't you believe these people, and where is the independent evidence, but even if you do believe them, why are we doing this trial against this man when this drug cartel is being run and is alive and well under another man?
Fascinating. Rikki, always great to have you to break this down. Thank you so much.
Thank you.